Just hours before the temporary exemption from America's steel and aluminum import duties were set to expire, the White House announced an extension for key allies. Washington also confirmed Seoul is granted a permanent exemption from steel tariffs. Hyesung gets us up to speed with the developments.
South Korea has been granted permanent steel tariff exemptions from the United States. This comes after U.S. President Donald Trump authorized modifications to the U.S. steel and aluminum tariff measures. In a statement Monday local time, the White House said it has reached a final agreement with South Korea on steel exports, the outlines of which were previously announced by the two countries' trade ministers. Seoul secured its permanent exemption by agreeing to quotas that will cut its steel exports by about 30% based on its average annual shipments to the U.S. between 2015 and 2017. The exception does not apply to aluminum tariffs. The White House also said it has reached agreements in principle with Argentina, Australia, and Brazil concerning the tariffs, the details of which will be announced shortly. The U.S. is extending negotiations with the European Union, Canada, and Mexico for 30 days, postponing the temporary exemption deadline to June 1st.
As of now, it looks like President Trump has got what he had wanted. A one-month extension signals negotiations with the EU, Canada, and Mexico are also well underway. Just like South Korea secured its steel tariff exemption while renegotiating the bilateral trade deal, the U.S. is using the same strategy to win concessions from other countries like quotas and preventing steel transshipments from China.
In March, President Trump imposed a 25% tariff on steel imports and a 10% tariff on aluminum, calling it a measure to limit imports and protect its national security, but it granted temporary exemptions to some of its key allies. The prolonged exemptions for Canada and Mexico come as the U.S. is working to renegotiate NAFTA, the free trade agreement between the three countries. Hyesung, Arirang News.